Hello, hello, and welcome back to the show. Today, I am talking about your money mindset and how to change it. So, first of all, let's just address the issue. Are you making or earning the amount of money that you want and need to live the life that you desire? That's the very first question, because you have to identify what is or isn't working first. So that is my hook for you. Stick around and I'm going to tell you why it's so hard to change it, what to do about it. But first of all, let's address what is it? Where does our mindset come from? How do we have the results that we have right now? What determines the results that we get? Do you know that? What determines the results that you have in your life right now in this moment? The relationship you're in, the balance in your bank account, the state of your body, your mental well-being. What determines that in a person? Do you have any idea? I have been really breaking this down in lots of different concepts and ways to teach it, and I'm having so much fun. I really want to do a series that is all about the imprint that drives us. This is what is happening on the subconscious level. What is happening beneath the conscious thoughts? So we have thoughts all day long. And did you know that thoughts were an active event? Like, it's not just thoughts passing through your mind, but you intentionally thinking is what creates the results that you have. Most of us weren't taught how to think well. So we have unmanaged thoughts, and those are predicting our outcomes. Isn't that crazy? It's kind of powerful, right? So for the show today, I want to talk about what is an imprint. Kim, for God's sakes, what are you talking about? What is an imprint? An imprint is actually running your life. It is a multitude of ideas in your subconscious mind and cellular tissue. So it's a multitude of ideas in your mind and in your body. And it comes from other people, places, experiences of the past, and it's controlling your behavior today. So it's coming from people, places, and experiences of the past, but it's controlling today. Y'all, crazy, right? Like, once I understood this, didn't just know it, but understood it. And a lot of this work came, if you've heard the beginning of my podcast, was back in the day with you can heal your body, you can heal your life, you can have whatever you want. You know how we keep hearing that? Like the law of attraction and Louise Hay and all of the mindset gurus. I kept hearing it, but I didn't fully understand it. But now I understand it. And this came through body work, through massage therapy, through healing work, energy work, like truly understanding there are different parts of us that are running this show. And when we can see that there's mind, body, spirit, or soul, like we're having a spiritual experience, there's something that we desire. And I believe that is like the God source, the desires, like you, I'm trying to say this without sounding too woo, but I think it's going to sound woo. We follow the nudges of what has been planted inside of us. And this is where our creativity comes from. This is where our energy and drive comes from. We don't go get energized. We are energy. We tap into it. I like to say, I summon this energy to help me get to those desires, to help me create the end game, the results that I want. We summon the energy from ourselves. Can you imagine if we could put it in a bottle instead of having all of these high energy drinks, we would just summon this energy from ourselves? But the biggest problem is I need to get, is not I need to get energy. The biggest problem is I need to release and unlearn the misinformation that is keeping me from my energy, that is blocking me from this limitless resource. So whenever we talk about an imprint is a series of events, things that you have heard, people who have decided or determined what you should think or believe. This happened when you were really young. We did not have a choice of what was being put into our mind, what was being dumped into our subconscious. And if you think about it, if you had a white t-shirt and you dumped it into red Kool-Aid, what would happen to the shirt? It would absorb it. This is what happens to our subconscious mind. It doesn't have, what's the word? It's not prejudice. It doesn't know like, oh no, like I'm going to reject that. It doesn't do that. It just takes it on. And so we have been in a very negative world around negative people and negative circumstances. And we've just taken all of that information in, and it then becomes our limitations, our doubts, our fears. That is what I'm calling the imprint. It's imprinted in the subconscious mind. It's imprinted in the cells and the muscles and the tissues of the body, the tangible physical parts of you. So you are an energy being, you are a spiritual being, but you're in this bodysuit. This bodysuit is made up with physical ingredients, and it has been infused and imprinted with things that are not you. And it's very confusing because you think it is you. You'll say things like, I'm just not like that. I'm not a morning person. I'm an introvert. I'm an extrovert. I don't like, I'm not like you. I'm not all like that. Like I hear people saying this stuff all the time. You're fighting for your imprinted limitations when you say stuff like that. You got to stop saying this is who I am and how I am and that's just what I believe. Like some of those things are actually harming you. They're setting you back and they're keeping you from the results that you want. And so if you really believed you were a limitless being that could have anything you wanted, do anything you wanted, what would you go for? Who would you be then? Start telling yourself that story instead of the story of the past. Unless you want to recreate the past and you want to keep that, I don't. I think that's boring. I've already done that. I've already been here. I don't want to remember it. I don't want to take it with me. I'm willing to erase it. I want to be surprised by what today's going to bring. I want to be surprised by what else I could know. I'm willing to let go of what I know to know something else. How about you? I don't believe I have reached even close to my full potential. I need to be willing to let go when I know so it doesn't keep me stuck. I want to discharge that imprint. I want to shake it up. I want to unlearn it. And I want to show up every day interested and excited and curious and wondering and willing. How about you? Do you want this imprint, this block of ideas, the multitude of ideas in your subconscious mind and cellular tissue? Do you want that running your life? It's like, really think about this. Do I want what Grandma Elsie told me or told my parents and they told me, we don't live there anymore. We're not even in the same world. What they lived off compared to what we live off of or what's available for us is completely different. There was a time they didn't even have a telephone. Even that blows my mind. Like this morning I was on a call and one of my my peers pop on, just show up in my Zoom. I sent an email and they popped into my Zoom and upgraded one of my clients, like right there in front. I was like, this is fascinating. Can we just take a moment to say how fun this is? There was a time where you could not talk to someone over there. Right now, we can talk to anyone, anywhere in the world because of limitless possibilities, because of energy or vibrational exchange. That fascinates me, guys. Blows my mind. I'm like, what else is possible? You know, my quote, I'm willing to be surprised by what else is possible that my mind has yet to imagine or experience. This came to me in the middle of one of my huge transformations. And I say this every day. I'm willing to be surprised by what else I've yet to experience. I have yet to know. I want to know something else. I want the childlike wonder. Now, will I keep my skills? Will I keep my efficiency, my discipline, my commitments? I'll keep that, but I'm not attached to the other stuff. You know what I mean? Wasn't always easy to let go of that. And there are still times today that I get like super, like I feel super urgent and pressuring because I am scared to go back down to the bottom of the crab pot. I'm scared to go back down to the swamp or to get sucked up by the crawfish lakes. I don't want to be pulled down. I don't want to be weighted down. I don't want to be heavy by other people's indoctrination or their labels or the way that they describe me. That scares me because then you're going to lock me in and I'm such a people pleaser and so like codependent about some of this stuff that I'm so concerned about people liking me. Best thing I did for myself is let go of that. It's okay if someone doesn't like me. Actually, I use it for jet fuel. I kind of like bring on the haters because once I can take myself there and say, oh my God, that's it. They hate me. Now I'm not attached because they hate me, because they want me to lose, because they're coming at me. And so I can let go of them and I can go further. Like it's fascinating. All right, that's it. I want you to adopt this understanding. Let me know, send me an email, comment below, share this with a friend who is maybe living in the past, old habits, old behavior, labels, describing themselves in a certain way that's limiting. Like if you understood that those habits and behavior are not you, they're a past interpretation of you. They're your nervous system's defense in order to keep you safe. And you locked them down and you let them come into the body and sink into the mind, and they're now running the show. So think about things that you were warned of when you were a kid. You better be careful. You don't trust people like that. They're always selling. They're always coming at you, right? Those stories are actually not relevant today in the way that they were told to you when you were 4 years old, but you're still carrying them with you. I call this residue. It's leftover energetic information that's holding you back. So when you can see that and you can understand that, and you can see the fears and the doubts and the limitations were actually planted from experiences or people of the past, you will be free, you will be liberated, and you will be able to get the results you want. Now, is it going to be easy? No, it's not even natural. I highly recommend you get a mind-body coach. This is what I train practitioners in, to understand that disconnection, what's going on in the brain, what's going on in the mind, what's going on in the body, how the nervous system is trying to regulate this in order to keep you safe and keep you in a position to survive and to keep moving forward. Like when we understand it, you will never misunderstand it again. We just weren't taught. And I don't know. I don't even know why we weren't taught. I don't care. I'm not attached to anything. I'm more attached to staying curious and willing and wondering. I wonder what else I don't know. Like I open up a dictionary and I'll just start looking up words, or I'll read an old text from the 1800s and I just like tap in on a paragraph and I just break it apart and I look up the words and I just allow it to infuse with the wisdom that's inside of me, that's not from the past, that's not indoctrinated, that is like a spiritual wisdom. It's a limitless wisdom and understanding. I tap into that. When I read it, it activates those cells that know everything, not from the mind, but from the body, the wisdom of understanding. Tell me if you want to know more about this. I am geeking out on spiritual laws, principles of prosperity, success strategies. These things are centuries of years old, and I have just been eating it up, reading and like less time hanging out on social media, just scrolling, and more time learning, like really learning. And then I just bring it to my clients and we tear it down. And then we go out and we take the action steps, and they are killing it. They're killing it. They're getting clients. They have more followers. They know how to follow up. They know how to sell. They know how to market. They know how to promote themselves without elevator speeches. Guys, you got to kill that. You're not going to make a deal on an elevator. Get rid of the elevator pitches and start being in relationship with people. If you want to know more about this, how to reach your goals, how to prosper, how to bring more revenue into your business, you have to check out Boss Up. Have to check out Boss Up. We have accountability calls, we have sales calls, we do strategy, offers, marketing, promotions. You could be anywhere from 0 all the way to multi 7 or 8 figures, and there will still be a tier for you in Boss Up. The difference is if you're over a million or you're close to a million, we just have a different process, a different sequence. But if you are just like, I want to go into business for myself, then you can start at the $99 a month Boss Up. If you are already making money in your business and you want to 10 times that, then you would come into the one where we're doing sales and marketing and strategy and feedback and networking. It's so good. All right, my friends. Have a great week. Check out the story you tell yourself. Is it coming from the higher version of yourself, or is it coming from your past? Is it coming from experiences and what people told you? Is it coming from something that you remember from the past? Or is it coming from this timeless wisdom that is in your body? Have a great week. Make sure you share this with a friend. Give us a rating and review.